Americans coming over here being nasty, doing nasty things, and being bad to the locals. Now, let me flip the script, okay? Let's talk about the fact that we get abused over here too.
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel once again. My name is Marcos. Now, if you're watching this video for the first time, kindly remember to subscribe, comment, like, and share my videos. So guys, in today's clip, our brothers who have been staying in the US, Canada, Mexico are complaining that we are not welcoming them back well home. They're facing discrimination home. I don't know why you guys are doing this. I'm very disappointed by this, but before we talk too much, let's see some of their reactions, because some of them have been complaining that when they come back home, you guys are not treating them well. So let's hear some of their reactions and we'll be back with more views.
The thing about Ghana is stop crying victim. Stop crying victim, because y'all cheat us out of a lot of stuff. Y'all invited us to come home, which by the thousands we did. We came running to Ghana. People sold their homes, moved out of their apartments, sold everything. Some people packed up containers and moved over here just to get over here and realize this is not our home. Y'all call us foreigners. Ghanaians call us that. We didn't make that word up. We didn't start calling ourselves that. We don't know that that's what y'all call the white people and the Chinese because we're not around them. But we know that that's what y'all call us. I ain't never heard the word before, Toby, till I came to Ghana. Okay. Y'all invite us home. Let's talk about what y'all do to us. Starting from the fucking before we get to the airport, we got to have a visa that we pay for to even enter our home. We pay all this money for passports and visas to get here. We get to the airport, and as soon as you see a fucking blue passport, everybody's coming for us. Can you give me something small at the COVID place? You get to immigration. Can you give me something small? You get to baggage. Can you give me something small? A person grabbed a damn cart and put my bag on it and got mad because I gave him $5 because I only had hundreds, because you come over here with hundreds to get the best, cash in rate. How about he looked at that and said, I don't want that. I said, what you mean you don't want it? I said, I want to know, what did you expect me to give you? He said, $10. I said, so you want me to give you over 100 CDs for picking up a bag, putting it in a cart? He don't know this is like my 5th time coming through the airport. I have never seen nowhere in any country or state where people have openly, it says $60 for foreigners, $30 for locals, okay? You go to Cocoon Park, and I don't remember the price. Let's say $200 for foreigners, because that's what y'all call us, $40 for locals. You go to the castle, it's $60 for foreigners, $10 for locals. I ain't never seen that nowhere. I don't went nowhere in the U.S., Mexico, and Canada where it said you pay, if you a local, if you're from here, you pay $1 for a Coca-Cola, but if you're a foreigner, you pay $8 for a Coca-Cola. I ain't never seen that nowhere except Ghana. Nobody in the airport has ever asked me for no money for nothing. I have only seen that in Ghana. Now let's talk about the fact that y'all welcomed us home and how this process looks to me. According to y'all, the ones of us that were stolen, so let's talk about the process of coming home. We got stolen from our mother, our birth mother and father. 20 years later, we're probably 26 years old now. Our mother finds us and she said, baby, y'all come home. I miss you. Come back home. Get out them streets where they don't love you at and come home. So we drive, take a taxi, however we get to our mother's address, we get there. But before she let us come to the door, she says, oh, welcome home. But before you come in, can you pay me $300 to enter the door? That's the visa to come home. So, okay, we happy to be home. So we paid $300 to our mother to step foot in her house because we're excited to be home to the motherland, okay? We get in there, and now it's dinner time. And she has plates on the table for the kids that grew up in the house. And she has a plate on the table for me and my sister who was stolen years ago. And she says, oh, my daughters, because you didn't grow up here, my children get to eat free that grew up here. But because you were stolen and you're just coming back, I have to charge you $20 for a plate. So me and my sister, we're so happy to be home. We're confused. We pay her $20 for a plate. Okay. That's the cocoon shit. That's y'all giving us different prices for shit, okay? Now we're at our mother's house, and we're enjoying being there. We see something's a little weird, but we enjoy being back home with our mother. We decide we want to stay. And she goes, oh, you want to stay a little longer? You're going to have to pay me $1,000 every year to stay here. That's the residency. Now we're paying her for residency, even though she invited us home after we were stolen from her. Okay? Now we pay the residency, and then we decide, you know what, we want to get on the birth certificate. We kind of like it here. It's a little weird, but we comfortable enough to stay here. And she tells us, oh, in order for you to stay here, I have to put my name on your birth certificate. That's going to be $3,000, please. And then I will put your name on the birth certificate, and you will become a family member. That's the citizenship. That's the citizenship. So how are we home if we got to pay y'all? Why aren't the visas free? If this is home, why don't you make this visa free for us? If this is home, why do we have to pay to be a resident? If this is home, why isn't our citizenship automatically given to us?
You know, it's okay if you pack up from foreign and go back to your yard. It's okay. It's okay if you've migrated and you decide that this is not working out. I am going back to Jamaica. Nothing is wrong with that. And we need to normalize people doing that instead of staying in a foreign country and suffer. It makes no sense for us to stay in a foreign country if we're not doing well. And doing well doesn't necessarily mean that you have a house, you have a car, you have a good job. Doing well also means that you're not coping mentally. You're just not happy. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter who you're around. You're not happy. Now, the other day, somebody told me that, you know, somebody that we both know, that person decided to go back home. And I said, good for her. Good for her. Because if you're really not happy here, if you're not getting the kind of job that you want, you come to Canada and you just realize it doesn't matter what you try. It doesn't matter what kind of qualifications you have. You've gotten certified here in Canada. You have your qualification from back home in Jamaica. Listen, sometimes we have master's degrees and we can't get a good job over here. If you realize that you're not getting back to the status after 4 years, 5 years, the kind of lifestyle that you used to live in Jamaica, you're not able to do that in Canada or the United States, go back home. A lot of us come here and we leave house, we leave car, we left good jobs. Our kids were in private schools, the best of the best in Jamaica. And we come here and we're just not getting that standard of living. Even though you might have a job, you might, you know, be able to buy a house, but that standard of living that you had in Jamaica, that good job that made you feel like, oh, you know, you're actually meeting your targets and meeting your goals in terms of, you know, your career. You have to start all over from scratch. And sometimes even after 4 or 5 years, you're still not there. Let's normalize saying, you know what? There's no shame in it. I'm going to pack up and I'm going to go back to my home country because this is not working out. It's okay. There's no shame in it. Pack up and just go back home. Nothing wrong with it. Let's go pack up and come back home.
The first thing that I didn't like is the immigration process. When I went to Tanzania, I already imprinted it in my brain that you're allowed to, from the research that I've done, that you're allowed to have 3 months there and then get extensions, which is a 30-day extension. It's supposed to be 2 30-day extensions for free. But once I got to the immigration, they had us wait there for 5 hours after telling us they could give us that time period, and we only got 2 weeks. After waiting 5 hours, we got a 2-week extension. So I had to maneuver myself from there, and it was just not pretty for me. I left the immigration office like literally in tears because I was just like, it's just this, I pick up on vibrations and energy, and it's just like the immigration people just felt like they don't want me here. You know, for whatever reason, whatever judgment they had of me, I don't think they want us as expats there. You know, and that's just the honest truth, you guys. Like, they were laughing at me while I was crying. Like, it was just not funny. Maybe it was just the immigration officers that I dealt with, but it was just like, oh, okay, yeah. So that was like one of the first negative experiences for me there. But yeah, I thought I could, you know, stay there a little bit longer just to feel it out. Now, let me tell you guys, I never, ever, ever had the I had no expectations with coming to Africa. Like I told you guys, I had plans to move to Ghana. They changed their rules. I don't like how their president moves. So I decided to come over to go to Tanzania. Yeah, the immigration, like to have to leave every 3 months. I knew this before going to Tanzania because it's everywhere. It's listed everywhere. But what I didn't take into was the expense that it would be to travel from country to country. I thought maybe it would be a little bit cheaper, but clearly it wasn't. I just never fit in, and I've been me all my life. This is me, and I'm always changing and growing, but who I am at the core, I can't change. So if I can't vibe with the culture and I feel judged by the culture half the time, it's just not gonna work long term for me. So that's one of the bigger reasons why I left too. Most of the expats were couples or males. So I met a guy, he was there from Europe. He had a business in Europe, but he lived in Atlanta. He's from Atlanta. I was like, oh, hey, what's up? You know, come to find out, like, he was like bragging about how, you know, he can get certain favors from a girl in the community for little to nothing. And I don't mean sexual favors, but he was just bragging. And that's what he kind of like hinted at, but I didn't want to assume. But, you know, like, I think guys sometimes come to exploit the, white and black guys come there to exploit the community if, you know, they know like they can get a lot for little to nothing, you know, from whether it's company, sex, whatever, like they know this. So they go there to sometimes exploit. So being that I met some cool expats that were males too. That right there was like a big, I don't fit, you know, but I want to connect with like-minded people, and I also want to connect with the African culture and the African people, but because there was that language barrier, I couldn't connect with any of the Tanzanian people, and I'm sure that stopped me from meeting a bunch of good people, but I couldn't connect. So this was like a thing for me that I was just like, dang, you know, like it sucks. This is a bummer. It took a lot of effort coming to Africa, but I was just like, I just don't see myself happy here. I'm not happy. So I didn't know, like in my mind, I'm like, once I didn't feel welcome, I'm like, when can I escape? You know, because if you don't feel connected with the people, it's just like, what in the world am I doing here? Like, you know, I vibe with a few Tanzanian people, the ones who spoke English, and I didn't vibe with any diasporans, actually, not for long. So, you know, that's just what it is.
African Americans leaving Africa right now. You know, I think when people migrate to the continent or they leave abroad, as we're seeing in record numbers, more than ever before, I'm not sure if it's new or if social media is giving us these viewpoints, but you come to countries where you find the quality of life much better, but the cost of living a lot less than what you're used to, and you overextend. You purchase a house or you get an apartment in the most luxurious part of the country. You're dining out every day, multiple times a day. You've got a driver, you know, you're doing all of these things. And while these things can still be relatively affordable, what I see for the most part is people just doing the most, like getting the most luxurious car, the most luxurious home, the most luxurious furnishings, and essentially they can't afford to not do the work that they were doing in the US to now sustain the life that they've created on the continent. And so, you know, when I first arrived to the continent, I wouldn't say made those mistakes. I have lived, had money, lost money, had money, lost it. So I knew how to live pretty frugally. But I do recommend that when you do migrate, that you enjoy that experience for the short term. And that's like 30 days, you know, celebrate yourself. Have fantastic dinners out, stay at a hotel, stay in a fabulous Airbnb. But if this is something that you want to do long term, you need to get yourself on a budget and be financially responsible so that you don't overextend yourself, so that you don't end up having to go back to a country that you so direly want to get out of.
So we already know that Africans and African Americans don't get along. The hate is very evident when you hop online. But that's the thing. when you hop online. I don't see this shit in person at all. Okay, I'm lying a little bit. There will always be somebody that's mean, but that's not what I'm talking about. My point is that the hate is strong online, but there's lots of love in person. As an African, I love African Americans. I have so many African American friends. We get along just fine. And I bet you if I asked any of them what they think of Africans, they won't have anything bad to say. We can talk about the bullying that Africans endured by African Americans in school, but that's not what I want to talk about. Just because I'm not in school anymore and I don't get bullied for being African anymore. I have learned to let that go because I decided to love myself. And I've been able to see that a lot of the African Americans that bullied me are now grown or the same age as me, and they don't think like that anymore. If you're black and you go to any part of Africa, I bet you will be loved and welcomed. So just remember that just because there's hate and division online, it doesn't mean that it's the same thing in person.
Bro, I'm reaching out to the African community. Why don't y'all like us? Because when I be at work and I be trying to talk to the African people, it always seemed like they be like looking at me funny or side-eyeing me. And at first I was thinking maybe they just don't understand me that well. Maybe they're not well acquainted with the way we speak or something. I don't know. But somebody brought it to my attention that they just don't like African American people. And I didn't believe it at first. But then I started noticing certain little things. One of my coworkers was like, if you notice, they always cool with the white people. They love white people. I'm like, no, I don't think it's that. Like, there's no way they like white people more than they like us. That don't even make sense. I'll never forget. I was walking down this long pathway at my job. It's like a long pathway. And I see somebody just running this way like super, super fast. And it was an African. And I'm sitting there watching this, and she's a beautiful African lady, like super beautiful. Like, but she running this way. I'm looking like, what's she running from? It's a white dude behind her chasing her, and they both just laughing and giggling. I'm like, ain't that the same girl I was just trying to talk to yesterday, and she act like she couldn't understand nothing I was saying? How she having so much fun talking to this white man, but she can't be cool with me? Like, that's insane. Like, why don't y'all like us? Like, what is it that y'all don't like about us? I thought we was cool. And then as time went on, more and more, like, down the line, I'm starting to peep, like, this is a reoccurring pattern. Like, it keep on happening. I'm starting to peep that ain't no Africans trying to talk to me. They all act funny towards me, but they do be messing with the white people. And I'm like, bruh, that's a real thing? Like, I used to hear people say it, but I didn't really believe it. Like, I'm not the type of person that just hears something and just believe it automatically. Like, I got to see for myself. And once I really seen it, like, this same African lady I was just trying to talk to yesterday, not being flirtatious, not being weird or nothing, like, regular conversation, just trying to, you know what I mean, help make the day go by, like, not even saying nothing bad or nothing. This same lady who wouldn't even give me a conversation was being chased down by a white man, laughing and giggling. I couldn't believe it. Why don't y'all like us? I understand we're a little bit Americanized and everything like that, and we're a little bit brainwashed, and, you know, we can be ignorant at times, but every African American is not like that. I don't like to see myself as an ignorant person who runs around starting I don't do that. You know what I mean? I don't do that at all. So I don't understand. It's very frustrating. I don't even want to talk about it no more. But hey, have y'all ever experienced?
Now, welcome back, guys. I hope you have watched that clip. So I'm very disappointed by that. I'm very, very disappointed because our brothers have been facing a lot in the US. They've been facing a lot in these foreign countries. And you have all seen what has been happening lately. Since Trump joined office, he promised mass deportation of illegal immigrants that were staying in the USA. So we all know most of the black Americans who are in USA, most of them were Africans who were taken there as slaves, and they decided to settle there, start families there. So they have been facing a lot in those countries. They have been facing a lot. So they have decided that they have to come back to their ancestral lands, at least where they were born, at least have peace, settle down, and start new life. But you guys are not treating them well, and that is very, very, very sad. You have seen some of them are complaining that they have been facing racism. You have been treating them badly. You have heard that lady at the airport whereby she was told to pay double in her own motherland. That is very bad. I'm very disappointed by that, because I believe Africans, we are peaceful people. We are a people who love each other. We have been welcoming the white people here in Africa, giving them lands, treating them well. So why are we doing the opposite to our brothers, to our own blood? Why are you guys doing that? I really need an answer for that, because that is very disappointing. seeing our brothers who have been going through a lot in these Western countries come back home and you guys treat them badly. That is very disappointing. These people have been through a lot because they went there to find new jobs, to find new life, and things did not go well, and now they're coming back home. At least something they expect back home is a welcome note. You should give them peace, the peace they have been yearning for all these years, because they haven't been having that where they have been. Imagine living in a foreign country is not an easy thing. So you guys are not treating them well, and they are very, very disappointed. So where will they go? Where will they go if you are treating them badly? I remember there was a video I saw, one of them, he has been in the US for like 30 years, and when he came back home, he found that his house, his land, they have been sold. Imagine such a disappointment, because these people, they always go to these countries to try invest so that they can come up with something at home. And now when they do that, you guys, you are not doing them good. You sell their properties, you sell their lands. I don't know why Africans, we are doing this to our fellow black people. That is very disappointing. So this is a message to all of you who are treating these people badly. At least we all know they have been through a lot. They are coming back home, guys. Trump will deport them, so they'll be back home. At least treat them nicely. Welcome them back peacefully. Show them you love them, at least, because they are very stressed right now. Things are not good. They now have to find new jobs, new homes, new life, and they think that at home things will be okay, but when they come here and you treat them badly, that is very disappointing. So I hope that's gonna stop. Thank you for watching this video, and in my next video, one love.